This vlog seemed to have become the drama vlog over the last 6 months. This is not a drama, people. This is a manageable situation. The boat's old. I mean, I found out later on that the Furl unit is more than 34 years old. And incidentally, it was running a charm. It was smooth as. Here's the problem, in here somewhere. There. And there. The staysail one though is not so smooth. So I wasn't expecting this at all. So yeah, it's an old boat, things happen, and you just have to, you know, think through them and try and do the least stupid thing at the right time. So anyway, I just thought I'd mention that.
We really need your help.
Yes, we really do need your help, people. We are stuck in Bocas del Toro. We don't have a jib furler, we don't have a forestay or a track, and we need repairs to our main jib. I've written to every single furling company, but apparently because of this COVID, well, number one, most aren't getting back to me, but one said, oh, we're not doing any of that stuff anymore until the world opens up. So I'm trying. We're going to be asking you guys to become patrons and PayPalers. We're trying to raise $3,000 so we can get out of here and start creating
producing
more content. We had a disaster, we've only just found out. We lost another hard drive.
It was a mosquito bite.
We're in Panama, in the jungle, there's thousands of mosquitoes. Our our final backup hard drive, we lost all the raw data, whether it was the lightning or just salt and humidity. So we have lost a hell of a lot of content.
We lost lots of content from Cuba and
no, we're
from
good with Cuba.
The first part of
after
Bocas,
Cuba.
We lost it.
So we're drying up with material. So if you want to keep us providing a bit of a laugh and escape, now's the time to help. So the situation we've got is we've got this norther coming in, or not necessarily the norther, the effects of the northerly, because it might not make it all the way down. But I do know that later on today, late afternoon or early evening, we're going to get more squalls, more nastier conditions, and the next day is going to be even worse. So I really want to tuck up into the western part of the bay, somewhere in the mangroves. Now I do have tracks, and I do know of one spot that I want to get to, which would be ideal. So I reckon I've got about 2.5 hours till dark, and I'm going to give myself, what, at the time I thought I'm going to give myself an hour to sort out this sail, and if I don't, because I'd actually been going upwind, I've got some sea room, and if I can't get it done in that time, the backup was simply just to run back out the entrance, which would be easy to do, and then go out into the Caribbean, and well, 10 or 15 miles, hardly the Caribbean, but anyway, it is the Caribbean. Heave to and just wait out all this nonsense. Sure, I'm going to lose a lot of ground, and it'll probably take me 2 days to sail against all this current in the lighter winds. Maybe I'd have to hug the coast and use, you know, just use the motor. Who knows? But that's another problem that I would have to deal with then. So I've got an hour, hour and a half to work out how to furl this sail. So I was on the port tack, I was maybe at say 35 or 37 degrees, and the sail wasn't flogging. I got the sheet that was slack, that means the windward sheet on the port side, and I disattached it from the clew. And so basically I just had the leeward sheet on, keeping the sail tight. Then I had another sacrificial line. Now I found a line that was perfect inside. Well, it was perfect at the start. I didn't want it too long because I attached it to the clew and I ran it back to another winch because I wanted to then get the tension on that and then feed the leeward sheet of the main jib around the furling direction, so clockwise, and then back to the winch. And then I was going to release the little holding line, the orange line, I'll call it the holding line, and then that was going to get wrapped around the mast. Now, if that actually went into the water, I had the motor going, and well, the possibility it could go in the motor. Now, it seemed to me to be just perfect. But of course, as the sail got furled, I had to find another line because, you know, I had less distance and I only had 2 wraps around the winch. So basically I did that, but it doesn't work like that, because what happens is when you're furling, the actual leeward line, the leeward sheet to the main jib, it's actually quite high. And when I went around the front to wrap it round, it's quite low. Now I didn't think of that. I just wanted to get it round the forestay, and I thought it'd be okay. But of course, when I released the holding line, the orange line, well, it got pinched, and it also was bringing the sail in too low. Now I saw that, and so I sort of locked it off. I didn't even worry about that holding line. I left it in, and the sail is going rocking backwards and forwards. And I got up to the front, and I was under tension trying to slide it up, and I slid it up a bit. But then I had to, it wasn't good enough. I wanted it higher, because this is still a good sail. I didn't want to wreck the sail. So I had to shimmy up the sail. But you can't shimmy up the sail because the sail's going down that way. You have to, because you keep on falling under gravity back to the sail side. And then you can't get your right leg, I couldn't get my right leg around. I had to then curl my left leg right around the forestay. And then with my foot jammed into the sail, my toe jammed in, sort of shimmy up, what with the sheet still taut, and then hold it and then push it out and then go up and then shimmy up. It wasn't great. It wasn't great. But anyway, I got it up a little bit higher. I lost all the hair and skin from my legs. Well, mainly just the hair. Not that much of a pussy, people. Ran back and then winched it in. And I thought that'd be okay. But no, it's not okay. Because when it got to the bow line, that jammed on the forestay. So then I had to run forward. Now, of course, I'm also managing the steering because I don't have any autopilot. And so I have to adjust Daisy because I want to keep the wind. I don't want it to be exactly into wind. I want it to be a little bit off. So run to the front again and then manhandle the bow line around and then winch again. But of course, as soon as I got to the clue, it jammed again, and because the sail, it sort of pinches in the sail and it doesn't want to go around. So again, adjust the Daisy autopilot. You know, good on you, Daisy. Did a good job. And run forward again, and this time try and drag the sail. Now this sail is actually, because it's still 15 to 20 knots, is, you know, occasionally billowing. Now that's a good thing and a bad thing because it rips it out of your hand. But when it goes slack, I got the clue round, and then I had to quickly run back, and as I ran back I had to grab the sheet because obviously when it billowed again the clue would go slack and then go back around, and then I'd have to do the whole thing again. So I'd grab the sheet, ran back to the winch and sort of feed it around, which is issues of itself, and start winching. And after maybe, I don't know, 15 minutes I got the sail around once, and believe it or not, it was actually quite tight. So even though it wasn't pulling exactly from the right spot to furl, it sort of sorted itself out. I think I had a bit of luck. I don't think it was skill involved, it was just luck. But I had the technique, I think. So essentially, manage Daisy, have the holding line in, and the holding line was only good for this other furler. I had to get another line which is slightly longer because I was running out of space because the sail's going forward. And of course, hold that in tight, still at 35, 37, 40 degrees. Quickly run up with the sheet for the main jib, wrap around the furling again, and then of course get it tight, not tight, but on. And then as the sail starts to, you know, as the clue starts to curl into the wind, maybe another half metre in, run forward and then try and shimmy up the mast and throw the rope up as high as I can. So I do that and then run back, start cranking it on, and of course it'd either pinch a bit and I'd have to run back even before it got to the bow line, but definitely when it got to the bow line, I saw it and I'd have to run forward and then shimmy up a little bit and then get that across. And then the clue, one of these I did, because it billowed just right, it threw it out and I was just managed to get the right crank of the winch, and the clue went round, and then once it gets round then you pull it and it sorted itself out, and it was actually quite a clean wrap. So I kept on doing this, and of course I got a new rope for the holding line and managing Daisy, and it was sort of intensive. Look, it probably took an hour or an hour and a half, I don't know. Afterwards though, on talking to some people, there are other ways of doing it, and this would have been so much easier for me in the circumstances because I didn't have the autopilot and I did have to keep on adjusting it. Basically, you want to furl these, in my case, you want to furl the sail clockwise. So essentially, you simply find enough area in the bay and you put the helm all over to port and you just go in circles. And then as the sail billows, of course, because I've got a staysail stay and a baby stay, it's going to get jammed. So I'm going to have to obviously undo the leeward sheet, what I figure, I don't know, I haven't done it. So I undo all sheets except for the sacrificial holding line, the little line. And it's going to be flogging like mad and you're going to have to watch it. And then because I've got so many stays, as your boat starts to go around and starts to billow, I'd have to physically push it and grab the clue and watch the clue doesn't take my eye out and thread it through. And then as it keeps on going round, well, then it wraps itself up. Now, I don't know how tight it's going to be, but I reckon if you were there managing it and pulling it, you know, at the bottom of the sail and pulling it and maybe having the line, and you could, what you possibly could do, the holding line, is you could throw that around the stay, and as you're pulling the sail, you know, at the foot, you could pull it like this, say, and then that would sort of tighten it because it's actually would be coming up high from, you know, at the clue. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but I know what I'm talking about, and that's the main thing. Well, it's probably not the main thing. And so you could just keep on doing that. And basically, I mean, any boat's going to go in a circle. It's keeping it on course. And so that would have been, if I had that idea, that would have been so much less anxiety. There would have been none of the shimmying. And of course, when I shimmied up, I had to unhook, right? I was shimmying, I couldn't. If I fell in or the clue hit me and I went overboard, well, I wouldn't have had a huge swim leg. It would have been, what, 2, 3, 4, 5 miles. But still, I was in a bay, so I would have made it. The boat would have just kept on going round and round and round in circles. Well, if I did it this technique, if I was going my technique, it probably would have ran into one of the Ks and I'd be without a boat again. So, as I was saying, as it's going round, it's just basically going round and round, and you're just sitting there at the front managing it and with the holding line and making sure it doesn't get jammed on all. And even if it does get jammed and you miss your opportunity, you just wait for the next rotation. So I think that I'd like to credit that that idea to myself, but this is an honest channel and it wasn't me. I didn't think of it. I would have liked to. God, it would have made things easier. It was my friend Stuart from Matador. He said he's heard that's been done before. Now, this guy, he knows everything. Now, another way I thought I could do it, and I don't think it would have been good. In the 15 to 20, 25 knots, I think it would have been okay, but it's still a nice sail and I didn't want to get it flogged to bits, so I wanted it quite tight. Also, I wanted it tight because I was going to be in an anchorage which is going to have some strong winds going across it. Yes, I'm amongst the reef, but I'm going to have some sail up, and the wind hitting it is going to, you know, be a strain on my anchor. And, you know, if I'm surrounded by reef, I've got not much room to maneuver and I'm going to be stuffed. So the other way is simply, I was thinking, you just lasso it and you have a noose on one end, and you simply, I don't know, you flick it up as high as you can. You got, say, 3 or 4 lines, and then you feed the line through the noose and you simply pull in the sail. You might even have to winch it. It's going to wreck a part of the sail as the rope goes around. I'm sure I did my damage when I did it my way too, because I was pulling the rope around, and there's a lot of friction there, and it's bending the stay. It's not good at all. It's just an emergency situation. That's why the turning the boat in circles, I think, is a better idea. But this other way is, so you lasso it, you get it as high as you can, and you pull it in, and then you tie it to a stanchion or somewhere, and so the sail actually sort of concertinas up. It'll be daggy, it'll be hanging out the side, and it might be 1 metre across. I'm not sure, I haven't done it, but it's going to be, at least you're going to get most of the sail area away. And then of course you get another lasso a bit lower down and winch it in and cinch it in tight, and you just keep on going down, and your sail is at least more manageable than what it was. Not a dangerous situation, just a little disconcerting. We're not the drama channel, this is the positive channel. Nothing goes wrong on this channel that can't be fixed. Oh, and I should also mention that I am looking forward to having beautiful sunsets without squalls and shitty conditions and lightning and, you know, illness and that sort of rubbish. And it's going to come, people, it's going to come. I don't know when, but hopefully soon. Need a bit of a rest.